Okay, it's part 3 of Memory Lane. I'm in Rowland Heights at a cemetery. Cemetery's been here a long time, but in the 60s, late 60s, we used to ride our motorcycles up before there were houses up here. And on one occasion we came up, a bunch of us loaded up our bikes, drove up here. And we were up here for a while, and my friend Mike Johnson, I saw him standing over a gulch, and he was waving me over. He was my best friend on the blocks that I grew up in. He was the best motocross rider in our block. That guy was so good. He could race. He did race motocross and desert. He was a member of the, what was it? Can't remember what the name of the motorcycle club was, but he's waving me over. So this would have been up in those hills up there, and lo and behold, in the gulch is a dead person, a man. And to make a long story short, that person had been murdered the night before. We later found out, I think it was in La Puente. Two guys had murdered him. I guess they thought he was making a move on their girl, because this all came out later in the papers. And so that was kind of weird, a dead body. How many people find a murdered victim? And I was looking down at him, and him and another guy went down and turned him over, as I recall, maybe to see if he was alive, but he wasn't. But at this cemetery here in Rowland Heights, you're about to see the grave of Stephen Parent. There you see it, 1951 to 1969. He was the first person that the Manson killers murdered up at Cielo. He had been up there visiting the caretaker in the back house, trying to sell him a radio. He's in the wrong place at the wrong time. He was actually leaving in his car when Tex Watson stopped him, shot him. Yeah, if it's nighttime and somebody stops you that you don't recognize, just hit the gas. That's what he should have done, poor guy. By all accounts, he was a good guy. He lived in El Monte. That's his gravesite, Steve Parent. I guess he was into electronics, was his hobby. Went to Arroyo High School. I know, Zach, if you watch this, I know you went to Arroyo High School, you and Martin. A lot of guys I know went to Arroyo High School, because I used to work for Train in El Monte, and Arroyo was in El Monte. It's a big school. And so, yeah, that was a long time ago. 1969 was when that happened. Kind of a morbid ending to the Hacienda Heights, Rowland Heights tour, but that's life. This is not a good world we live in. Even Jesus emphasized that. This is really Satan's world. And we read in Revelation that there will be an actual ceremony where Christ has handed the keys back to the kingdom. He said, I am not of this world, I'm of another kingdom. So things like this happen in this fallen planet. All right. Motorcycles up there, heading home.